So hello everybody and welcome to my special tonight. It is New Year's Eve 2020, a year people are still trying to explain. I'm Dewayne Benton and I thank you so much for joining me. I'm doing this especially for my church family, Union Valley Baptist Church, Memphis, Tennessee. And I wanted to encourage them tonight. The church itself has been through a very trying situation the year 2020. But not only my church, the world has been through a very trying situation this entire year. You know, the entire year for me, it started off with the loss of my mom's sister in January. And it seemed like from there, everything just sort of went haywire. I remember becoming very ill right after we came back from Chicago. And it was like 10 days of sickness. And and this was before they said COVID-19. So I do believe that maybe I was one of the first ones who got it before they even started realizing what it was. But the Lord saw me through it. It was a very difficult time. I'll never forget it as long as I've never been that sick in my entire life. So what I'm going to do today is I've invited some friends to join me here on the couch, as well as I've got friends who are going to be live on location, and I'm excited to talk to them. These are some of my spiritual friends. They have truly shared some powerful testimonies with me throughout my life, and I'm excited to talk to them. So I'm ready to get going. My first friend, my first guest, she is an evangelist, and she's a powerful woman of God. And as a matter of fact, talking about women of God, we've lost some great women of God this year. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show, but she's here. She's full of power. She's got some encouragement for you on today. Please welcome my friend, Evangelist Cynthia Cheatham. How are you?
I'm good, Dwayne. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Great.
So, it's been a year.
Oh my goodness.
So let's just start off by asking you, how's your 2020 been?
Wow. Kind of like a roller coaster. You know how a roller coaster takes its time coming up the hill and then has a big drop, but then it gets a little momentum and goes back up. So it's kind of like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But it's still been good through all of that. It's still been good.
Wow.
Because I look back and I think about all the other things that I've been doing over the years.
Yeah.
And I say, God, you're still wonderful in my life. Regardless of everything with this pandemic and, oh my goodness, just so much. But God is still good.
You know, in ministry, I've heard people say this, and I'm going to ask your opinion on this. A lot of people say with the pandemic, churches were forced to close earlier this year, and then they sort of started to ease their way back in. I've heard people say church will never be the same again. So as Christians, are we missing something here? Because why would we say church will never be the same again? Did we have a misconception of what church was really about?
I'm sure we did. Because the thing of the matter is, when God comes back, he's coming for his church.
Right.
And so what we're seeing is we have to believe what we've been talking about. We have to believe what we say we are. Because if we say we're children of God and we have this power and we have this anointing, now we're being challenged. And so now we're finding out who's really saved, who's really a child of God, who really loves God.
Yeah.
To shut the doors of the church?
Yeah, never has happened.
Never in a million years would we have thought about that. Now, my church, I can't say that we've done that.
Yeah.
I can say we've weathered this storm through it all.
Yeah.
Of course, the social distancing and all of that.
Yeah.
But we weathered the storm because here's the thing. Why would you shut the doors of the church across I can get the precautions. I can get that.
Yeah.
But for many of us, like me, I need the church.
Yeah.
I need the Lord in my life.
Yeah.
And I think when we walk away and we don't do what we normally do, then our faith is weakened. And so what we have now in this world, we have a lot of Christians, quote unquote, whose faith has diminished.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're seeing and that's what we're experiencing.
But we grew up in a time when people would say that the church is the filling station. So all the feeling that we've been getting over the years, shouldn't it sustain us up until even this moment? Shouldn't it have sustained us to give us the strength to keep speaking the word, keep proclaiming our faith in Jesus Christ? But I just find that the church has become a little weak. They're saying now, I heard people say, even Christians, now I'm not talking about secular folk, I don't know if I don't even want to go back to church again. I kind of had so much time away at the internet, and it's virtual, and you can send your money through Cash App, and, the church kind of become a relic. How do you feel?
For me, I need to be in the presence of the Lord. I need to be around fellow saints. I'm strengthened around fellow saints.
Yeah.
And I can't just sit at home and watch it on the TV.
Yeah.
And send a cash. I want to be in the presence, because where the numbers are great, the power is even greater.
That's Bible.
You can sit at home and chill out and do whatever, but when you come amongst your saints, you are strengthened, and that's what I love about the presence of the Lord.
I'm telling you.
We're strengthened. We pull from one another.
Yeah.
If I'm not there for you, then guess what? Then my face grows weaker.
Yeah.
So I want to be there. I want to get there. I agree. We do need to take the necessary precautions. That's what I'm doing here.
Right.
But I also know, when God is in your life, He shines.
Whom shall I fear?
Your light shines. Whom shall I fear? And then the Bible says, "Lo, I'll be with you always,
even until
the end of the world."
Ooh,
that's what I love about God.
My God.
Even in this pandemic, God said, "I'm yet present. I'm still here. I'm in the midst. I just need you to recognize who I really am." He's never left us. He's never left me. He's never left you. And this is what I thought about when I was on my way here. Because it's raining.
Yeah.
And there's a storm. But God said, even in the storm, there's a blessing. Not after the storm. Not before the storm. But He said, in the storm, there's a blessing.
Yes.
And that's what I truly love about God. He's there. Always. He hasn't left us. Well, what He's trying to get you to see is, where's your faith? Has your faith diminished? Has it weakened, or has it grown stronger?
Yeah.
And for me, it's growing stronger every day. Because I see what God is capable of doing.
Yeah.
In the storm.
We're in a time, we're really in a time where you are being challenged in your faith.
Yes.
And you're being pushed in your faith.
Yes.
To believe God the more.
Yes.
Listen, we have to see God beyond those four walls. We have to see God beyond, I miss hearing my choir sing.
Yes.
I miss the ushers. You got to see God beyond all this now. We're in a day and time now where your faith has to be stronger, because guess what? This COVID-19 ain't playing. It has taken almost nearly 500,000 Americans.
Wow.
They're already proclaiming about 424,000 will be dead by the end of January.
Wow.
So where's your faith? I'm telling you, COVID-19 is real. For those of y'all out there still thinking all this is just a hoax and all that.
It's real.
Coming up after we finish, I have a cousin who's coming on set.
Okay.
And he's going to tell his testimony about how his life changed when he was stricken with COVID-19. You don't want to miss his testimony. But here we are now today. And we're looking at our lives and saying, okay, God, what are you doing? What's going on? What do I need to see in this? What am I missing? Because these are key questions we as believers need to be asking God. Because we'll go on and we'll try to blame Him. God, why so much? You have to ask God, what's in this? What are you trying to show us? Because we as a nation, though that's a whole nother conversation on what we as a nation need to do. But as believers, right here in this country, we've become a little weak.
Oh, yeah.
We've become a little unstable.
Yeah.
And we're asking God all the wrong questions.
But you know what God said to me this morning? He said, even when you can't trace me, I want you to trust me. And that was so profound to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know specifically about the numbers. I just know that when I turn on the television or the radio, I hear there's more. I said, God, what are you doing? What are you doing, God? He said, I'm still here. But because you can't trace me, I need you to trust me even the more.
Yes, yes.
If people are saying this is a bad time, it's a good time. It's a good time, Dewayne.
Perfect time.
Good time to get closer to God.
Yeah.
Because here's what has happened. America, the entire world, has angered God. And that's what we're seeing.
That's it.
The hand of God is upon this land because we've angered God. We do anything we want to do. We say anything we want to say.
Yes.
We go anywhere we want to go. Everything is acceptable. Oh, it's just because how I feel. Because that's what I want to do. I have to help my daughter realize that. No, you can't say anything you want to say.
And everything.
And you can't go everywhere you want to go. God sees it all. And he's an all-knowing God.
Yes, he is.
And this is the time to get closer. To draw closer to God. Because man doesn't have the answer. The doctors don't have the answer. Your pastor doesn't have all of the answers. Your mama doesn't have all the answers.
God.
But God has it all.
Yes.
It's a good time. It really is. When you think about it, thank you, Jesus. It's a good time. And it's really a perfect time to accept Christ as your Savior.
That's right.
Because you don't know. Everything's so uncertain. The weather, your money.
Yes.
You go in the store. Ma'am, I don't have enough change. Are you okay with not,
I've never
everything
seen
is
I've
so
never
uncertain
seen
in
that
all of
before.
our lives. Everything's uncertain. The banks don't even open like they used to open. The stores don't open like they used to open. The food is not the same.
Everything is being rationed.
Everything.
Yeah. Toilet paper.
Do you hear me?
This is what 2020 has shown us.
And then, I've never seen so many food lines in my life. But it's a good time. Because he says, I'm still providing. I don't mind going to the food line because I need some food.
Yeah.
But God says, I'm going to take care of you if you just stay right here with me.
I've never seen
don't
it
walk
right
away
just a
from
second.
it. This is not the time.
Yes, yes.
It's not the time. I'm so thankful. I am
Yes.
so thankful.
2021 expectations.
Oh my. Oh my. For 2021,
Yeah.
I really haven't given it a lot of thought because it's a day-to-day thing with me.
It is.
What does tomorrow bring?
Mm-hmm.
Not what does the next year bring, because never in a million years we would have thought all these things would be happening in 2020.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting great things from God. I'm trying not to even think about other people per se.
Yeah.
I'm looking for God. Okay, God, good morning. What is going to happen today?
Yeah.
What miracles are you going to perform today? Not how many people are going to die today, because he's still performing miracles.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God, he's still doing it. In the midst of everything, Dewayne, look back and think about where God is right now in your life and what he has done for you up until this very moment. He's still God. And this is what I love about God. He never changes.
No, never.
When we mess up, I said, God, I've been talking too much. I called you. I said, friend,
We talked about it.
let me ask for forgiveness.
You did.
Instead of talking about it, let me pray about it. Because all of my prayers and all of they don't have the answers to my problems, but God does. God does. I just love the Lord.
Yeah.
I love him.
That comes from relationship.
Oh, yeah.
When you spend intimate time with God,
Yes.
you will discover, even with the mother, yeah, I have a mother still here with me, even with friends and people you think you know, a relationship with God will teach you that, listen, you think you got good friends, you think you got a good mama,
Oh, my.
but you got a good God. And
Oh,
he'll
my.
see you through everything that you'll ever endure.
Oh, my.
He'll walk you through it. That's all I can tell you.
Yes.
Is that he's faithful.
Yes.
And what for me, for 2021, I ask God for one thing, more strength.
Oh, yeah.
I need more strength to endure, God, whatever it is you're doing in this season.
Yes.
All I want is your will.
Yes.
Just give me the strength to endure it.
Yes.
I ain't trying to climb the mountain like the ladies say, don't move it. I want you to move it. And I want strength to see your power in everything that I'm witnessing with my own eyes. Like I said, when we talk about the rationing of paper towels and tissue and Lysol, whoever thought going into 2020, if we had been smart enough and listening, maybe we had bought cases of this stuff, we'd be rich right now. We'd be rich, but you know, we have to trust God. Final words.
Oh my. I would say to every single individual to talk to the Lord during this season and ask him, what do you have for me? What is it what do I need to be getting out of this during this season?
Yes.
Because as we can see, all of this is still transitioning to the new year.
Yes.
So God, what do you want me to do during this season?
My God.
Where do you want me to walk? Where do you want me? What do you want me to say? We have to be in his will during this season. Okay? Because if you look at the animals, they know what to do in every season.
That's it.
The bear knows what to do during this season.
They know.
The birds know what to do in this season.
How are we, the greatest creation, don't know what to do?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. So that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm asking God. What is your will for my life? And where do you want me to be during this season? I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it because guess what you can't do? You can't reach back and say, God, put me back there because I missed it, God. And that's what I want to do. I want to be in his will during this season, during this pandemic, during this turmoil in this world. And say, God, put me where you want me to be. Now, sometimes it may not be where you want to be. Might be a little rough, might be a little shaky. But remember I said, there's a blessing in the storm. In the storm.
Keep going.
Yeah. There's a blessing in the storm.
I told you I got some powerful people. We're just getting started. Thank you, Cynthia.
I wanted to say to you, Dewayne, in spite of everything I personally have gone through, you've been there for me. You've been my friend regardless. And I thank you for that. Because, like I said, sometimes I may call, I might vent, or I may have something going on, but you stood right there with me in the storm. And I want you to know, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I love you for that. Because everybody you got some fair weather friends. They're with you when the weather
I don't care good, bad, and different. I don't care what it is. You know, you have to be. God has taught us as believers, born again believers. The Bible says to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and to love thy neighbor as thyself. That's important to me. That is very important to me in my life, and I make sure that I treat my friends, and my friends know you have my undivided attention, my unending result or ending resources, whatever it is, it's yours if I got it. And I want you to know I love you.
I love you.
2021 is going to be good.
Ooh, yes.
I'm excited. I really am.
Too.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Cynthia. We appreciate it. All right, stay right there because coming up, my cousin's here. He's going to talk to us about what happened to him, how he got sick, how he ended up in the hospital for 2 months. Didn't even know he was in the world. His testimony is coming up. But right now, we're going out east. I've got our friends out east, and they're going to share a word of encouragement with you. Hello, Pastor Andrews and Lady.
Hey, Pastor Dewayne.
How you doing,
How
Dewayne?
are you? Listen, Happy New Year to everybody. How you feel, little Tammy?
I'm amazing.
Oh, my God. Listen, y'all, we know here 2020 has been a very challenging year. Would you say that, sweetheart?
It's very challenging.
And,
right.
you know, everything that happened, of course, none of us expected it. And we've, you know, some people have gone on, passed on. We lost our grandmother.
Right. We lost my grandmother. And, you know, I'm just happy to have a smile on my face again.
Yeah.
You know, I know that COVID-19 has been, you know,
devastating.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
But we can live again.
We can live again.
Yes,
and life still goes on with us, you know. And especially, what were your challenges? I know my challenge was, you know, us being pastors, we had to close the church down. I know
and
a lot
the
of
business. We had, two, you know, we have 2 salons.
We had to close salons down. Couldn't nobody get their hair fixed.
They couldn't get their hair fixed, their nails, or their lashes. They couldn't get anything. So, you know, it was devastating, you know, for them and for me.
That was hard for me.
Right. Because, you know, the rent still had to go, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, they worked with us, you know, with it. And that was a blessing. And so, you know, I mean, the stimulus checks and all this stuff, you know, praise God for the favor.
That's wonderful, and that was awesome for us. But you know what? When the church we had to close the doors to our ministry. That was very difficult for me. I think that was.
You had some sleepless nights.
I had some matter of fact, y'all, I think I have some grieving nights. I had some slight moment of depression that was going on. I didn't even let Lady Tammy know. There was sometimes I just didn't even want to get out of bed. I was dealing with some depression because, you know, our way of life was just immediately interrupted. How do you bounce back from that? Well, I'm gonna tell you how. We're going into 2021, and I want to tell y'all that God is still alive. He is still on the throne.
He is.
Whatever you lost in 2020, I'm praying that you're going to restore, be regained in 2021. And I'm going to tell you something. I think I was talking about this last night. You had a Birkin bag that you were discussing, you know, these bags. And what we want you to do moving into the new year, try not to fix yourself on the outside to look good, but fix yourself up on the inside. You know, don't worry about what's left behind. Don't worry about anything or what anybody has to say. 2021 is going to be about the faithful. It's going to be about the faithful ones who are strong enough, if you will, to be able to say, hey, God, we were challenged. We probably have failed. But you know what? We're not dead and we're still moving on. So I'm excited about that.
And not only that, you know, let's celebrate for a second chance.
Hey, I love second.
You know, hey, come on now.
Dun. Don't get me started.
You know, and a lot of, you know, my friends, they've been talking about they've got this COVID weight. You know, they've gained a lot of weight.
Come on, Tammy.
And, you know, and I have gained 20 pounds as well. But you know what? Let's not move into what has happened. Let's just celebrate it because you got a second chance to get it right.
Got a second chance to get it right.
I mean, it's a lot of second chances. And I'm telling everybody to celebrate the second chances because it ain't over, baby.
It ain't over. And you start exercising next week, right?
Yeah.
You gonna exercise.
Y'all, I had the biggest.
Because I ain't gonna do it.
I had the biggest breakfast ever and I enjoyed it. And I don't feel guilty about it, okay?
Eat, girl,
so
eat.
I want you to know that you can do whatever you want to do because you have a second chance to get it right?
That's right. So listen, y'all, we love you all so much, and we just thank you. Pastor Dewayne, hello, bless you. Thank you so much. Man of God, you are awesome. You are great. You have always been.
He's beyond all that.
He is beyond all that. This man has been such a blessing to us. And then his faithful journey to California has been an eye-opener for me. So this is why I want to tell y'all. Right now, we're going to journey out of 2020, and we're going to journey right into 2021. And I'm telling y'all, your worst days are behind you, and your best days are before you. So we love you. You guys have a happy new year, okay?
You're stronger than your struggles.
You're stronger than your struggles.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor Andrews and Lady Tammy Walker-Smith. Love you guys. Happy New Year. And I know you guys have some really great things. These guys they love charity work. That's their joy. Not that they put it on Facebook and all that, but that's their passion. And I want to support them. So I'm looking forward to some great things that they're doing in 2021. All right, welcome back. This is my New Year's Eve special, and I'm talking to some very inspirational people. I got one is a relative of mine. He's my cousin. And I got to tell you that when I heard the word that he was sick, it was just so shocking. I just didn't know, when you get a call like that and you don't know what to do, you don't know how to respond. All I could do was just call somebody to say, tell me what's going on. He's here with us and he's going to share his story today. This is my cousin, Claude Benton. How are you, sir?
Good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm so glad you people don't know the before pictures of you because you've lost how much did you lose?
Well, total I lost like 47 pounds.
47 pounds. And this is because you were stricken with COVID-19.
COVID-19. I had the worst of the COVID.
Yeah. So, okay, how did you even realize something was going on?
Well, only thing I can remember, July 11th, I got up. It was like 90-something degrees that day. And I got up, got my car wash, went to the car wash, and I went and got me some hot wings from Crumpets. Mm-hmm. And I got home, and started feeling real cold. And then the food I ate, that was eating, it didn't taste. It started tasting funny a little bit.
Because they say you lose your taste.
Yeah. But the night before, though, I remember taking some NyQuil. You know, I thought I just had a little cold. Because I was telling everybody else about COVID, be safe, you know. But it went on. So the next morning, that Saturday, my fiance Tammy went to work, and that day I felt kind of bad. It got real cold. That was the 12th. No, that was Sunday the 12th. So I was walking around the house with a hole, and I like to be cold, you know.
Yeah.
But that particular day, it was like 95 degrees outside, and I was walking around with a jogging suit on and a blanket. So when she got to my house, and she was like, "What's wrong? Why are you walking around with a blanket around you?" So.
And it was hot outside.
It was hot outside.
Yeah.
It was like 95 degrees. So the next day, well, she told me, well, we're going to get tested for COVID the next day. So we got up that following Monday. I got really, really cold. I started shaking and shriveling. I took a shower. I couldn't hardly stand up. My eyes started bucking. So she got in the car. She took me down to Methodist clinic right there on Union Avenue.
Yeah.
So we went in there. Well, actually, we had to call, and they don't know we was outside. So they came. I got my insurance card, and they said they're gonna call me when I get, come in. So they called me, and I got in there, and
because this is actually in the heat of COVID-19.
This the Monday the 13th, July 13th.
Yeah, but this is in the heat of COVID,
heat of
so you
13.
couldn't just walk in the hospital.
Yes, it was. We went to the clinic to get tested.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
And I didn't, I'm thinking, I didn't never think of COVID, but I got in there, they laid me down, my oxygen level started getting real, real low. So it got so low, they put oxygen on me, and they said, we got to call the ambulance. This guy oxygen levels was very low. So the ambulance came, they came and got me, and Tammy was outside. She didn't know what really was going on because they wouldn't let her in there. So they took me outside. They got to rush me to the hospital. So the only thing I remember, when I got to Methodist Central, they bagged in, they took me out, and they took me on this floor, and they put me in this room, and they swab my nose, and they moved me to another room. Now,
you remembering all this?
That's what I remember. I remember I made a few phone calls. I talked to my brother, and I talked to some brothers of mine in the Corvette Club, and that was the 13th. Now, I don't remember nothing else. I don't think I remember after that I woke up. It was like August
Wait a minute, August?
August the 8th. Yes. I couldn't remember. I didn't remember that when I did wake up. They said I've been in ICU twice. Also, they said I was on kidney dialysis. My kidney shut down. I said I went sepsis.
You never had kidney problems?
Never. So they moved me from room to room, test to test, x-rays. And so I wake up, they ask me what day it is. I'm like, my days, I couldn't remember nothing, I was gone. And they told me, that I was a blessed child. That's what I kept on hearing. Yeah. The nurses, the doctors, so they were watching my kidneys real close. Every day they come in my room, and they raised, that's why I figured out how they check your kidneys by your ankle. They were raising my hands, my gown up, and they were like, man, this is looking okay. So I had to learn how to walk. I was basically on a pen. Yeah. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't talk.
But the thing that I think about is you were actually on a ventilator for almost, 2 months?
Yeah, I was on a ventilator a month and a half. They say it almost lost me a couple times, but I didn't really want to tell anybody that I was sick. It ain't I want to try to keep nothing from my family and friends. It was just like, I thought I was going in to get some treatment and come back out. Right. So thanks to my daughter, Justin Ben Holmes, and my fiance Tammy Tucker.
They called us
and they let my friends and family know. And also my soon-to-be stepdaughter, Terica Moore. Yeah. She, by her being a nurse, practitioner, she was on them too.
Yeah.
That's a big help.
And she kept your fiance informed as to what was going on when they would say things to her about you.
Yes.
She didn't understand because she's not in the medical field, but she'd call her daughter, who is a doctor, and she would help her understand, and she could convey it to us.
Yes.
Because we just didn't know. We didn't know. We were terrified. The doctors were saying all kinds of things. It ain't looking good.
Yes.
We don't know, and we were like, okay.
It got to a point. My daughter had no choice to call the family, but they was about to give up on me. They said that I was going sepsis. My kidney started shutting down.
Yeah.
But I did a turnaround for something. Thank the good Lord of God. So
we just didn't know. I mean, I was mad at you because I didn't know, and I'm like this, and I'm just trying to hold my emotions. But I was like, now I called him, and he always called me back.
Yeah.
Now I didn't call him a few times, I ain't heard from him, and I don't know what's going on. Then when I got the call, I was nervous, and I'm like, God, this is not gonna be the last time that I talk to him. I'm not gonna. No. We prayed and we believed God, and after 2 months, you ended up coming back and you woke up. And I'll never forget when you called me on the phone and you had that ventilator in you for so long, you couldn't hardly talk.
Yes, I could. I can talk it out.
But I was so glad to hear your voice.
Yes, I want to give a special thanks to Methodist Central and all the doctors and nurses that helped me. And also, when I was in hospital, I had to go to the rehab for 2 weeks to learn how to walk.
Yeah.
I still couldn't walk when I started getting released. I was in the hospital till July the 13th. I was just in the 2nd. And then after that, I had to have an occupational therapist and a physical therapist and a nurse come by the house twice a week. And I was in a wheelchair and I was in a walker. I had to bring an oxygen machine home and things. So
now, how are you now? I mean, are you considered fully recovered, or you still have some effects from it?
When I got out the hospital, I had to follow with some doctors, with a kidney doctor. When I got out September the 2nd, I had to see him on 28th of September. Mm-hmm. So he told me that I was doing real good and I wanted a miracle. Guys, a child that can come through this, but people, they don't look for people like me to make it through. So I'm here today to tell my story because people, this is real. It's for real. Yeah. So when I see the stories on TV, and I see it on CNN, I said it was just like me.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't make it. And then another thing too, they say you have underlying conditions and all that. That's true, but I have known people that died in pretty
good health.
Good health. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so when I got released from the doctor on the 2nd of September, I had to go follow up with my primary doctor a couple weeks behind that. He's the one that released me. So
you just got released.
I just got released this Monday. What was Monday? The 28th. Mm-hmm. So I had to follow up with him, and the doctors sent him the report, and he like, wow. First time he seen me, he recognized me. I lost so much weight. Right. He was like, Mr. Ben, I was praying for you because he said he had a friend was a doctor that was in the same shape that I was in and didn't make it.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've been seeing him like 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks here, 3 weeks here. So the reason why he haven't released me so far, they told me when I got out the hospital that it's going to take 3 to 4 months to recover. I'm like, wow. And it's really true. I just got released on the 28th. So what they really wanted to do, he really wanted to do my blood rate, took an x-ray of my lung about a couple of weeks after I got out of the hospital. Mm-hmm. The lung was showing it's cleared. My kidney numbers are fine. Everything checked out fine. So the last time that I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, and I just went back this week. Yeah. He went on and I had a serious story. He'd tell me every time he see me, "You're a miracle." Yeah. You're a miracle. I'm glad you're back. You know, you got a testimony. So
a lot of people don't know this too about you. That actually, when you first got diagnosed, was in the hospital on the ventilator, his daughter was very soon to be delivering her baby.
Yes, you were.
And I remember, had you woke up when she had the baby yet, or was it? No, it was right there at it.
I woke up. I just got ICU, and that was when I found out I was on the kidney machine. Mm-hmm. They did our house for the last time. I didn't know because they said I was trying to pull stuff out. I don't remember none of that. So yeah. But I remember that last time I was doing dialysis. I didn't even know I had the quarter cavity. So I did that. So like 3-4 days later, they rolled me downstairs. I'm like, where are we going? So we take that porta cat out of you because your kidneys are back to normal.
To God be the glory.
Yes, wow. So
half the stuff you didn't even know about.
no, I ain't know nothing about that. So it really taught me a lesson because I knew that I used to drink a lot of juice, a lot of sodas, but now strictly water. When I do drink a soda, I drink with a meal, and I don't drink many of them now. I chase with water, clean the system out.
Yeah.
But like I say, I just got released these on the 28th this Monday to go back, to
live, to work, to live. I mean, no more doctors care, pretty much.
No doctor care. And the funny thing about it, I was out here selling the COVID
equipment, right?
Cameron, I just did a $2 million deal with Smith and Nephew. It went global, international, UK, London, England, everywhere. So, and another thing too, people, you never know where you call it from. And I went around a lot of people. This stuff is airborne. So right now, they test my antibody. They say I got enough antibody for 4 people. Right. I said I should because you all had me on enough antibodies and steroids for a long time, and so
because one of the things that they said in the hospital was that when you would wake up, you would try to, like I said, to take the stuff out of your arms, and you would kind of being combative. So they had to kind of heavily medicate you just to keep you down. But here's the downside of that. When they heavily medicated him, it took them a while to get him to wake up.
Yep.
He was so heavily medicated. I think it took almost a week with nothing in his system, just trying to get the medication to wear off so he would wake up. Finally, he woke up.
Yep.
Because that right there was a whole nother we were shaking about, because it said, well, it's been 3 days now, and we're waiting on this medication to wear off for him, and hopefully he'll be waking up in the day now. It came day 3, day 4, finally day 5, he's waking up.
Yeah.
To God be the glory.
And another thing too, man, I was kind of, I was telling people, it's something you couldn't really see nobody. It got kind of depressing.
Yeah. Share the story now.
It really got depressing.
Yeah, because you were asking for your fiance, she couldn't come. Nobody could come up there. Nobody. And all we could do was just pray and wait. At the end of the day, like I'm telling you, I will never ever forget this moment when you called my phone and I heard you in that scratchy voice. Hey, and I said, Lord, I almost had a wreck.
My sister, I talked to my older sister, she was like, she said, they call me Jabbo nickname, so they like Jabbo. I said, sister, I really knew I was gone because everything, my life started flashing in front of me. And one thing I told her, I just lost my mama 2 years ago and I seen her. I'm like, wow, everything started flashing in front of me. So every time that, man, it's
you're a miracle. I mean, seriously.
Every time the doctors come in there and the nurses, I had to hear that. But
it just didn't register?
It didn't register.
Until after. Talking to your daughter, seeing how she, what she had been going through, the new baby. They say you woke up, we're asking them, has my daughter had a baby yet?
Yeah.
Those were questions you were asking.
Yeah.
Because you remember from the beginning now, again, what was it, June 13th?
July 13th.
July 13th.
Yes.
Until September 2nd?
After July 11th.
Yeah. Yeah.
July 13th, yes.
To not know you in the world.
Yeah.
Until August somewhere.
Yeah, boy. I mean,
I look, this is a miracle. That's all I can tell you. I wanted y'all to see a miracle before the end of this year was over and done with. This is my cousin. We call him Jabbo, but his name is Claude Benton. Yeah, the Benton. Yeah, these are the Bentons.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to have you here.
I want to thank all the doctors and nurses and special thanks out for my fiance, my daughter, and her, my soon-to-be stepdaughter too, and all my family and friends that prayed for me because I want for prayers work.
What you say?
So I didn't know I would love so many people. Boy, I tell you.
When you do good, good follow.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful that you're here, that you can tell your story. I told you once ago, I said, I don't know where I'm gonna get a chance to, or anybody, whoever get to tell your story, gonna have a story to tell.
Yeah.
Because it's you are a miracle, and I thank God for you. You here, you're living life, and I'm tired of him putting his weight in my face, how much he's lost. So that just kind of pushes me to, get myself together, because he's healthier now. He's doing healthier things, and it's all good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you.
Same to you.
Great things coming. He's getting married. All of that's coming down the road for this young man. To God be the glory. Stay right there. We've got much more to come. We're going to Effie Road. Now, I'm not talking over in the UK. I'm talking in Memphis, where my pastor, Reverend H. O. Nealon Jr. and his family there, they've got words of encouragement. Hello, Nealon family. Love you all.
Good evening, my brothers and sisters of the congregation of the Union Valley Foundation. And we as a people of God, the church established on the rock. Jesus said, upon this rock I build my church. And that means that we are established upon the words of Christ. Thank you for this day, and for you all down through the years giving us your support. And certainly I thank God for Bishop Shipp, my helper, who stopped by to holler, and he's always kind of comforting me for this year and better of sickness. But I'm improving progressively. I'm improving daily. And I thank God for each of you, the support you've given us spiritually and financially. And all that has happened in this past year, we count it all a great joy to be alive today. And I pray that the Lord will bless us in our efforts this year when we come together to give praise, thanks, and show love one for the other. And I just thank God for you people, and you've been a great help, a great backbone for the church. And now I'm going through my little spell of the valley of the shadow of death. But I fear no evil, for God said, I'll be with you. And I'll prepare up a table before you in the presence of your enemies, and I'll anoint your head with oil, and he will anoint our head with the oil of grace. And I thank God for the days of my life with the congregation. And I'm just elated about all that has taken place. And through it all, as the song said, we learn to trust in Jesus, we learn to trust in God, and he's brought us through. And as the songwriter Sapp on that recording of his, he said, I never could have made it without you, Lord. And then he said, I look around and see the reason I made it is because you were there all the time, because you promised, you are the promise keeper, God, that you'd never leave us nor forsake us. You've been with us through the thick and thin, as we say. And I thank God for each of you. Keep me in your prayers, and I'm doing the same for you. And may we look forward to this year coming up, a year of prosperity, health, happiness, and all that God has to lavish upon us. And I thank God for our bishop who's carrying on, and those of the administration. Pray for us. Pray for one another. As Jesus said before he left this planet Earth, little children, pray ye for one another. And as I have prayed for you, he prayed that priestly prayer for us. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do, and bless them in whatever we do. May we always think about that and do it to the glory and honor of God. Thank God for all of you. God bless you. Stop by to see me sometime. I keep you in my view, my spiritual sight. Oh God, which is my prayers toward. When I pray, I make mention, bless us, Lord. So I thank you for this day and for my friendship and fellowship with the congregation for the year 2021, right? Is that what it is? Yeah, okay. Thought I was getting it right. In Jesus' name we pray that everything will work out for good, and we'll give you the praise, the honor, the glory which is thine. In Jesus' name I pray, and till I meet with you again face to face, may God bless you real good. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Hey, listen, we're out of time, but I want to thank you all so much for watching tonight. And I pray that you have been encouraged and inspired. Stay in the race. Stay in the fight. God is going to be with us as we enter into a new year with new promises and new expectations from the Lord. I love you. God bless you. Pray for me, and I'll pray for you. Let's just see, how great will 2021 be? In Jesus' name, God bless you. Go forth and give it your best. Until we meet again, take care.